Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very special episode of Petey's Awesome Guest Panel, the 161st episode. And why is it so special? Well, lots of surprises and even gifts involved, but most importantly, it's our guest star here tonight. Now, before we get to down to business, let me introduce tonight's co-host for this evening, all Power Ranger enthusiasts, and because I'm a gentleman, ladies first, the lady from land from down under, Miss Jessie Devine.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks.
Yeah.
How about you?
Excellent.
Great.
Always glad to have you, Jess. Also joining us tonight, representing Muffin Time Fitness, Mr. Rob Dunnan.
Oh, hello.
There. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for coming on, Hilary. Great to see you.
Sure. Thanks for coming on yourself.
Absolutely.
And last but absolutely not least, my good buddy, he is the man who is best known for props. He is Dan the Prop Man Romano. Welcome, Dan.
Hey.
Pete.
Hi.
Hey,
Oh, I
Hilary.
like your jacket. Really cute.
Thank you.
Styling.
I
Now-
do my best.
Now,
You look gorgeous as well, Hilary.
Thank you. Thank you.
now, before we introduce tonight's legendary, iconic name, I would like to tell you a little bit about this lady, though. This is the lady who in 1997 destroyed a walk-in box of crayons, and the only villain in Power Rangers history to do that, actually. A woman who should be on Mount Rushmore's for two different reasons. She should be on the Mount Rushmore of Power Ranger villains. She should also, in my opinion, should be on the Mount Rushmore of actresses, because I've always said about this actress tonight joining us that she is Phil Hartman, Margaret Hamilton, Sigourney Weaver, and Tim Curry all meshed into one. She is she is the lead singer of the band American Girls. She is a legendary actress. She has starred in many projects such as Full House, let's not forget Star Trek, and one of my favorites, as I mentioned before, Power Rangers Turbo. She is a walking icon, and she is the godmother of charisma, the personification of style and finesse and acting prowess, and also high energy and charisma. And as
Ooh.
the legendary and iconic, the fashionable Miss Hilary Shepard. Hilary, welcome. How are you today?
Wow, what an intro. I'm going to demand that intro in everything I do. I never do podcasts, so I'm really happy to do yours, and I love that intro. By the way, did you know I was friends with Phil Hartman?
I didn't know that.
I heard about that, yeah.
That's interesting you mentioned him. Yeah. We worked together in the Groundlings, the comedy improv group.
Great, and I've heard about that too. Like,
So you worked with Paul Rubens too, then?
Yeah, well, that's how we started. They were before me, but we would go see Pee-wee's midnight show, and we became friends with him. He was a lifelong friend, incredible person. And we were like, how do we get into this theater troupe? And then I just started taking comedy classes, not knowing that that's how you get into the Groundlings. And I got voted in, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. I've used that training my whole life. I used it in Turbo because they let me improvise and say pretty much whatever I wanted. So, once you're doing comedy improv in front of a paying audience, you can do anything because you get a suggestion from the audience. You have to think on your feet. You got to be funny. So with that kind of training, it was great training. I loved it.
would you say that was your first big break or start into acting, or there was more to it?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of them for sure because it came with a lot of people came to look for comedy actors there. So people would come to the shows and try to discover people. I got a really good agent from that, and also I also had my band at the same time though. And the night that Lorne Michaels came to discover everyone, I was on tour with my band. But I was in New York, and John Lovitz called. He was introducing my band at the Ritz where we were playing. And John and I were in a lot of sketches together, and he's like, "Oh my God, they lost their musical guest. I've suggested you for it." And we were so excited, and it was between us and this other girl who she was like the voice in the Rugrats, Elizabeth something. She had one E.G. Daily, yeah, and E.G. Daily ended up getting the part, getting the gig, and not us. So on E.G. Daily, but we almost were on SNL. It was really close.
So cool. And that's why I also said, like, I just love, like, the way you act, though. And, like, for instance, like, any role you do, you always put, like, the character in it. Like, I feel like the character, you just bring the character to life. Like, I remember watching you in Addams Family Reunion, though, and how you put that character to life and how you were talking to Ed Begley Jr. And I remember, I don't know the word verbatim, but you were like, next time. And then you were walking away slowly, and it was like something,
Oh, yeah.
you were just so good. The delivery was.
Oh, I remember because he went behind my back. He went like that, and I turned around and I said something. I forget what it was. He was great to work with too. And then my best friend Daryl Hannah was playing
Yes.
Morticia, so we just had the hardest time keeping a straight face. We got each other hysterical. There was one scene in there where we had to eat. And Daryl started as Morticia was talking about eating maggots, and everyone was like, throwing up, and it was really lucky because we were hysterically laughing so many times we had to kick each other under the table the whole time to like try to get through a take. It's really fun to work with your best friend. We also did a play off Broadway together where a couple times I had to just pretend I was crying because I was laughing so hard.
Well, you brought up Daryl Hannah though, and you've done a lot of movies where like I've always seen you two in movies, and one of the movies I have to ask you too was, and I always want to get your view and thoughts on this one too, especially to make it, and that is Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, because that was a star-studded movie though. I mean, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a shame because it was like the one bad movie that Christopher Guest did. He did so many good movies because Daryl kind of made him give me the part. I auditioned and he gave me this little tiny part. He kind of wasn't very nice to me. He didn't know that I was funny or could do anything. He kind of treated me as like the annoying little sister, like who he had to give a part. So never again did I ever ask her to give me a part in something. And I was also doing another movie at the same time or commercial. I can't remember what happened, but every time I didn't work for months, and then I'd get two jobs at the same time. I'd always pick the wrong job, or it was so hard as an actor because the only way to guarantee yourself a job is to either go away on vacation or get a job, and then you'll get a million jobs and then have to pick. It happens every time. But yeah, that he wasn't a great experience, but I had fun working with her.
I see, and I want to ask you from a professional actor's point of view, though, and I've always wanted to ask you this question, though, because I'm going to put this is one of the questions I had for you, and this is the raw emotion question, though. If I'm going to put you in a scenario right now, Hilary, if you were to do a scene with a thespian or a fellow actor, and you have to do a scene in which you and him had to get into this heated argument, and that's what it calls for in the scene. Now, theoretically, if you and I did a scene together, and I say Miss Shepard, and I say Miss Shepard because I have the most respect for you in the whole wide world. If I were to say to you, Miss Shepard, this scene requires us to get into a heated argumentation in which we should really, make it good storytelling. I had a really good idea that I wanted to run by you where I think you should land bash me so hard that you can make me cry in frustration for real. So that way, not only we could tell a story better, so that way we can also make it believable to the audience, but we can also sell the story that we're telling for the audience.
That doesn't happen because you have stunt people on there. You can't risk hurting somebody. It happens accidentally sometimes, but if you're a good enough actor, you don't actually need to smack somebody around, or you can injure somebody and then the whole scene's gone. So that doesn't happen in real life. Everyone who's professional knows the deal and knows, how far you can go. And you read things where actors accidentally get punched or hit or something, but it's never on purpose. And you just wouldn't do that. You're good enough to pull it off. You know all the little tricks of slapping and punching and hitting, and the director will tell you that didn't land, that does not look real. You keep going until it is, but it never actually happens.
Fair enough. Before I believe who has the first question? Jess has the first question. Before Jess asks the first question, though, I just want to say, Hilary, too. Like, I absolutely loved your role in Peacemaker. I thought you and
Oh, thank you.
that chase scene was so fucking insane. I thought I give you and Robert Forster. Forster, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Robert Forster. Yeah.
So much props for doing that scene because that was just I was sweating.
You want to know something so interesting? He was the sweetest guy. He hadn't worked in a long time, and the director, he was on some old detective show that I didn't know, but the director loved him, and he was great, but he could not remember his lines. He could not. We had a scene that we were going through a warehouse, and he had to talk and talk and talk, and I think he was dragging me, and I was all full bloody and whatever. We had to do that 50,000 times to the point where it's like, we had to just do each line, and I felt bad for him, but it was kind of frustrating. But that's an example maybe you were leading up to before in your other question, where you just use your frustration and hopefully it could feed the scene. But that's the most thing I remember about Peacemaker was that, jeez.
The epitome of Jess, I apologize. Your first question?
That's all right. That's okay. So, what are your memories of your audition for Power Rangers, and how you landed the role as Divatox?
Oh, well, this is a really interesting story and a really good lesson, I think, for anybody who's listening. So when I got the call, I, had my little daughter, and LA is so much traffic. And I remember it was like 4:30 audition, and it was really far away. And I'd never seen the Power Rangers because I had a little girl, and she never watched it. So I turned it on, and I just remember somebody screaming and yelling, and they had kind of like a red hair. I think I saw Rita. I don't know. So I put like a purple thing in my hair, and I was like, I'm never going to get this part. This is a major movie. They're going to hire someone famous. A lot of times they have every actor in the world come in case the star that they've offered it to can't do it or won't do it, or so I knew I was just like a spare actor. So I was driving there, and back in the day, we didn't have any kind of maps or Waze or Google, and you had this big like book of how to get around LA, and you'd like go to page 32 and try to find like A23 and try to find your address on the map. I got so lost. I was running late. I was in horrible traffic, and I turned around. I'm like, I'm never going to get this part anyway. And then something inside me was like, you know what? This could be the one time you do get the part. Don't give up. Just do it. And I ended up getting the part. But when I got to the audition, in the audition was a man named Shuki Levy who ran Saban with Saban. He was the partner, and he had specifically asked for me. And he had
Oh,
seen
wow.
me in a movie years ago, a really crappy movie called Hunk. And his wife at the time, Deborah Shelton, was the star of the movie. And he told me later, he was watching me act, and he said, one day I'm going to work with that girl. Now, I never met this man on the set. I think I remember saying hello to him. He just remembered me all those years, and he couldn't even speak English back then. He was Israeli. He was a composer. So it's such a good lesson on so many things. There's so many, as an actor, when you start out, you get these crappy movies, and a lot of times it turns, if I hadn't done that, he wouldn't have remembered me or asked me to come in. So he told me later on that Grace Jones, who I don't know if you know, it's before your time. She was kind of an underground pop star. She had some disco star, and she was this
Know her.
gorgeous black model and totally nuts. I actually had met her a few times in New York, and she was supposed to be Divatox, but she was so crazy in real life that they just couldn't handle it. And I popped into his mind, and and there I ended up getting the job because he remembered me from I don't know how many years back, and so you never know who's watching you. You never know. Oh, the other funniest part about this movie, called Hunk. One day I was in Hawaii, and I was on vacation, and we were going to watch the Academy Awards. So all the things coming up to it, they're like countdown to the Academy Awards, and I see myself in Hunk acting away, and I'm like, am I up for an Academy Award? Like, what happened? And behind me is Brad Pitt as an extra, and he's sitting on a towel behind me, and they were like, this was his first job. I'm acting away, did not notice that the hunkiest man of all, Hunk and Runka, was sitting right behind me while I'm acting up a storm in front of him on the beach blanket, and he was an extra. Crazy. So yeah, so I'm really glad that I turned around and I went to the audition, and I ended up getting it.
Cool story. And Robbie, before you ask your question, I just want to say, Hilary, thank you again. So I actually owe you a thank you though for actually calling me out like during Morphicon during the panel. You actually the first person to shout out my name during the panel. It was you and Cat Brown like during the
Oh, cool.
So big thank you for that one.
Sure.
Robbie, your first question?
All right. Can you describe what a typical day was like on set?
On the movie, it was really interesting because I really didn't work with the Power Rangers till the very end. I was me in my ship, and I was with mechanics. I was with, the most disheartening part about being that character was that before me, a lot of times people didn't do their own voices. Like Rita didn't do her voice. So I don't know what they were planning on, but there was the mechanics of Elgar and Rygog make so much noise. There's people like working them that later on you have to do your entire part over again. So after at the end of the movie, I had like, I don't know, they gave me one day, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing ADR. I don't know if you guys know what ADR is. When you go,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
yeah, so
The
you're
voice
like
work.
watching a screen, and you have to, they go 5, 4, and you're, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you have to say your line over and over until it fits the mouth. So, and it doesn't have any noise on it. So, anyway, so a typical day for me was not really getting to see other actors, just the people in suits. And I was always in my, in my one set in my submarine. So I didn't really get to be friends with the Power Rangers. I had a couple scenes at the end with them, until all the actors until I started doing cons, and that's when we became really good friends. But and then also I don't know if you know, but I got the day I got the Power Rangers, it was the day I found out I was pregnant with my second daughter, and I was so sick. I had to wear a corset. And I didn't want to tell them because I thought they're going to fire me, even though it's illegal, they can figure out ways to like fire you. And I figured, well, I'm not really doing any fight scenes. I'm just yelling, and I know that I don't show very much. So I had this corset on, the cape, and the heels, and I'm just like barfing in my trailer, and I'm so sick. So I was pissed off anyway. So it really added to the character, but I didn't really interact with a lot of people because I didn't I didn't have any scenes with them. They were shooting on different days.
I can finally ask this question too. That specific spot in that movie, though, that lizard tongue CGI.
Oh no, that's my tongue.
They actually had.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah,
It's
that was a CGI. It was so weird because there's things like they have me do this thing, and then I have like my claw comes out just at the very beginning of the movie. Like, why didn't I ever do my claw again? And my tongue, they just had it once. I tried to add a lot of things. I had them make me like my mirror. I wanted to make her very vain, so I tell the props people like I had a Space Vogue. They never showed me. I was reading my Space Vogue magazines, and they made me all those props. Like, do I look fat? Nah, that was all stuff I made up and added to
That
the
was
character.
great.
So I wanted to make it funny enough so that the parents that have to sit through this, that they would get the jokes on a different level. And so they were great, especially Shuki. We had a director that got fired, and then Shuki took over, and he just let me do whatever I wanted. I mean, the scene was there, but I could say whatever I wanted. And, it was all my iconic lines were stuff I made up. So like Viva La Diva and the whole forgot about the time change, all that stuff.
That was always a
I
good
didn't
one.
know all that was improvised, but that shows the comedic skill and just I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was such a fun part. It was the best. I love that part. It was the best part I've ever had. I just knew immediately who this character was, and I dream. One of my best moments of making the movie was as a kid. I was kind of weird, and definitely weird looking, and glasses, braces,
Oh,
and
you're
freckles.
beautiful.
Well, now I got better, but and so what was I going to tell you? Somebody just was texting me in the middle of this. I'm like, not now. So anyway, I always watched the show Batman was on after school, and it was the one with Adam West, and it was like kind of tongue in cheek. And there's Catwoman, and I loved Catwoman. I wanted to be her. I wanted to be Julie Newmar. A couple of different actresses played her, but what Divatox's cave was in the exact cave as Batman. And is that where we shot it? Where we shot was Batman's cave, and it was like a full moment because as a kid, that's all I wanted to be was Catwoman. And then I remember walking into there, and I was like, "This is what I've dreamt of, my whole life." So I just was so happy. I love that part. I know it's not considered like highbrow, like Academy Award stuff, but I just had the best time, and it was a full circle moment for me.
And you know what? It's like, go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, can I say I love that you love that? Like you can tell in everything you do, you have fun with it, and that's what
Thank
I love
you.
most about Diva, like your character Divatox in general. You can tell, like as hammy as she is, you're having fun with it because when you have fun with it, for us, it makes it like fun for a fan and audience member. It's like, oh, she's having fun with this. I can enjoy. It's not. It's not like some where you're just shaking your head. This is like, oh, she's actually enjoying this. This is great. And it adds to the fun of it. So,
Yeah. Oh, good. Thank you so much. I
you're
appreciate
welcome.
You mentioned also too Catwoman, and there was different portrayals of Catwoman in the past, like
Yeah.
Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, and Eartha Kitt, though, and very similar to Divatox, though, and Joker too. Like Joker's like I always make this comparison, like how there's the same character but four different portrayals of the Joker sometimes, where you have Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger's Joker, which are totally nothing like Cesar Romero and Jack Nicholson's Joker. Would you say it's very similar to like how the Divatox is portrayed between you and how Carol portrayed it?
You know that I never saw her. I've never seen her Diva Talks. I never, because we didn't back then. I mean, you didn't unless you recorded stuff. I didn't. I never saw the. You know, I wasn't going to do the series. They knew I was pregnant. They replaced me with Carol. I went on to do Star Trek, and she had already started. They kept calling me every day, like, "Have you had the baby yet?" I'm like, "I'll let you know." So then they wanted me to come back because I guess they weren't, as happy with her portrayal, but I never saw her portrayal. I've never seen anything. A lot of times people don't even know. They'll send me pictures of her and she got like really fun scenes like Honey, I Shrunk, whatever it is. People think I was in that and that's not me. That's her.
No.
But I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I have no idea. What is the difference? Could you tell the difference?
So some people,
So-
and this is not what I'm saying, but this is what some people will say though. They're saying like Carol's Diva Talks was like the serious, like cold, calculated, and then they said your version of Diva Talks, and again, this is what I saw online. They said that your version was the funny, loony, like more like fashionista style, like a villain. But I don't know
Oh,
if you agree with that or not.
cool. I have no idea because I never saw her. So.
I can definitely agree with
Hers
that.
was more hammy, like her, but not in like it was okay. But personally, I prefer your
Yes, me
Diva
too.
Talks better.
Yep.
That's
Like,
what I like to hear.
Hilary,
yeah, and you came back. I think the timing you came back at the right time because I think you started in the movie and then finished it in Chasing the Space, and then eventually
Yeah,
Countdown
yeah.
Destruction. It made sense. Plus, again, again, I hate to say it, your episodes were just much better, and the stakes
Yes.
got elevated when you came back. So
Oh, good.
yeah.
Yay.
And
Yeah.
Dan, before we get to your question though, I just want to say too, Hilary, and I asked every Power Ranger star, like at least the villains ones on the show. I've asked Amy Miller this question. I asked Cap Brown this question. I've asked Kate Sheldon this question when I had her on the show, and that is, in the past we've had in Wild Force we had a special called Forever Red, where every single Red Ranger of the entire series of Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin to Wild Force all appeared. Don't you think, Hilary, that there should have been a Power Ranger episode titled Forever Villains, where we see every villain
Yes.
of every season just team up against the Rangers?
I know. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. It was such a good idea. You're right.
They had to
Like,
make a movie
the
if they would
closest
do
thing we
that.
had was Countdown, and From Out of Nowhere, which I love for the stuff between you and Carla and
Oh, that was
Melody.
great.
That was so fun. That was
Gold.
so fun. I've become friends with them and I love those girls so much. I love Melody. I mean, she's disappeared off the face of the earth, but I was really good friends with her and I really, really like her a lot.
Oh, like I said, you were just so great in Calendar Destruction. If I had named my top three favorite Hilary Shepard Power Ranger episodes, I would tell you with no hesitation. Song of Confusion is one of them because I absolutely loved seeing like the rock music and you playing that kick-ass guitar. The other one would have to be, believe it or not, would be Chasing the Space, both parts. And of course, your line I'll never forget to this day was "Beware of the Third Wish." When you took the coin, you're like, "I wish, I wish, I wish for the Blue Centurion to be evil." Your delivery was just flawless.
I feel like if they need a Diva Talk substitute, Petey, you could do it.
You know what? I can never be you. I'm just gonna say I studied your tapes like I did with any other villain. Let me just say that you are very fashionably evil. I will say that.
Thank you so much.
Dan. Now I had this question for every single Power Ranger star, but I always let my guest star, my co-host, ask this question, even though I want to ask this question. So go ahead, Dan. Ask this question before you ask your second one.
Well, one, how does it feel to be a legend?
It's fabulous.
Okay,
Because you're
Wait,
not
was that
legend
my
and an icon.
that was a two-parter question. That was part
A
one.
legend and an icon. It's so funny because you have to be in this world to even know who I am. I just go about my little life. Nobody knows who I am. My friends. I live, not in LA, and I just live this kind of quiet life. You can see behind me, just on the water. People are surfing behind me on their surf things. But
That looks so
yeah,
peaceful,
so
I gotta say.
I love I don't feel like I am an icon at all, but it is really, really nice to it took me so long to go to one of those Comic Cons because I didn't think anyone would remember me. Star Trek always asked me, and Power Rangers, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go. I'm going to sit there like an idiot. No one's going to know who I am. Like, you don't know, you don't get feedback, so you don't really know, that people remember you or enjoy your work. So it's so nice to know that people, that especially, a lot of people come up to me and say, I just did a show with Brandon Rogers, who he's he goes to a lot of Comic Cons, and he has this really funny YouTube show, and I played his mother, and he was like that one of those weird kids who was alone and didn't have cable TV and just watched Power Rangers, and he's asked me to do the show with him. I'm just doing a movie right now because the director also was a huge fan of mine when he was young, and it's really nice to know that I meant something to people in their lives and their childhood, because I was that weird kid watching TV and one day going, I'm going to be an actress and I'm going to be famous and everyone's going to be sorry that they don't want to play with me, So,
Speaking of your work, because I rewatched a couple things before you came on here. Plus, you and I, believe it or not, we met before. We met at PMC. I
yeah,
think
you look familiar.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I have your book.
Oh,
You're the one who
yay.
you autographed it for me too.
Oh, yay. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, you
it's a
definitely
great
look familiar.
I got one of those faces. But anyway, just people forget, you've worked with legends too, tough guys, Kirk Douglas and
Oh,
Burl
yeah.
Lancaster, and then
That was
Anne
amazing.
Margaret,
Yeah.
and just I watched
the Golden
Radioactive
Girl.
Dreams. Yeah.
Oh, Radioactive
And
Dreams you watched, Jack? Wow.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's it's peak
I gotta tell
80s,
you
but I
such a
love it.
funny story about that. So we were shooting in Hawaii, and there, they put the ball cap on me on my teeth, and we were on top of a volcano, and they're like, they had a kahuna come bless it, and they're like, don't take any of the rocks because it's it'll go off. And a day after we came down from the volcano did go off. But while we were on there, I had lied to get the part and said that I could ride a motorcycle. I could not ride a motorcycle, but I thought I'd have time to learn. But they literally you're going to Hawaii tomorrow. I was like, oh shit. So I get there, and they're on top of the freaking volcano. They're gonna get ready to shoot, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't even know how to turn this on. And there were a lot of stunt people there. So all of a sudden I hear this. Oh no, I know what happened. So the girl who was playing my sidekick, who she was on the back of my motorcycle, she's like, I know how to do it. I'll show you. I'll get on. I can ride it. She gets on the bike, crashes and breaks her arm. And they're
Oh,
like, no
no.
more actresses on bikes. That's it. And I was like, oh, damn, I really wanted to get on that bike. She saved my ass and she was so sad because she got another part in the movie. But yeah, she literally broke her arm. And I was so relieved it wasn't me. But I couldn't ride a motorcycle. But I can't believe you watched that movie. It's kind of
Oh
a
yeah.
cool movie.
Well, again, that's what I mean. I watch your work, and you can tell whatever you're in, you're having fun doing it, and it's great. It's fantastic to watch.
Oh, thanks. I'm living the dream. I'm so happy. I always wanted to be an actor. Every single birthday party, every time I blew out my candles, that was my wish, you know. And my mother would be like, "We don't know any actors. How are you going to be an actor?" In New York, And I was like, "I'm going to do it somehow."
I,
We don't even know
Well,
anyone who's an actor.
well, you're a Renaissance woman. You act, you write, you do everything.
Yeah,
It is
and board
great.
invent board games.
You're a
Mhm.
jill of all trades. In this case,
Thank you. Back then it wasn't frowned upon. Like now actors do everything. They have clothing lines. For me, they were like, every time I was in a movie, I would write songs for the movie. Like I wrote the Cookie song in Troop Beverly Hills.
Yes.
that's
I
true.
grew up on that. My
And
sisters love
they
it.
treated me like a dilettante. Like, well, what are you, an actress or a musician? It wasn't a plus at all. And I just, my timing's so off, then you see all these other actors get to do everything and have a music career and have a clothing line. When I was an back then when I was starting out, you couldn't do that.
I was gonna ask you too, what was the origin before I get to that question though, I just want to say I loved your role in Theodore Rex and Bryce. Uh,
Oh, thank you.
um,
Oh, Bryce was the one he was a Power Ranger fan as a kid, the
oh,
Bryce TV
that
show.
was
Yeah.
I love that
That
one.
was really fun.
You played a
Yeah.
really good you played a really good mother to him.
A
Um,
horrible mother. Yeah.
well, an entertaining one. Um,
Yeah.
one of the questions I have is we have a couple more questions before we wrap
Okay,
up.
what time is it? Just time check?
It's 8:25.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a couple.
I know my husband's like, I'm like, I'll be
Don't
right
worry.
there.
Don't
It's
worry,
okay.
we're gonna wrap up soon. First off, I just want to say too, thank you for coming on the show, and I just want to say also I have such a big fan of yours, Hilary. I actually made this. I mean, you probably saw it. It's actually a two video
Oh, yeah,
dedication.
yeah. So
That's how much.
cool.
That's the one dedication.
Thank you so much.
This too took me 4.5 months to make. It's every single Power Ranger, villain, Ranger, ally, general, you name it, and you are in there. I actually can visually.
Oh yeah, you've showed that to me before. It's
Yeah.
so cool. Good work. So talented.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna conclude very soon, so everyone's gonna say their final comments. Though, Dan, your final comment for the legendary Hilary Shepard.
I actually got one thing to show you. Speaking of Turbo, the Power Rangers movie, so I think you'll like this. And then,
Dan's bag of tricks.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, look at that wall of toys.
I
Oh,
got that fiance
oh
here.
wow, Malagor.
Holy shit!
My
Malagor.
husband, that's where he's been. What is it? What is it? I can't see.
Oh, I'm so-
Oh my God, he's so handsome.
He worked really hard on it.
He's scrumptious, isn't he? I know he's scrumptious, very scrumptious.
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't marry me after all that. Wow,
His
so
loss.
hot.
His
Where
loss.
did you do that? You made that?
Yep.
Wow, you guys are
Very cool.
incredible. That's really cool. I might have to borrow that for a sketch sometime.
Oh, but please do. I'd love it. If you're ever in Chicago, let me know.
Okay, cool.
Actually, no, I was when I read this, I read like that's the one interesting thing. My brother went to Northwestern too.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah.
he's a lawyer. So, but like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is cool.
The connection, we got the Chicago connection there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good
But really quick, I just I love you. I think you're great. Just hopefully I see you again another con soon, Hilary, because
Well, I'm
you're so
doing the
cool,
New
man.
York Comic Con in October, I think it is, and then I'll do
Need to get
the
talked about.
the PMC one.
You're going
next
to
year.
PMC?
I don't know. Is that which one? Is that one? Is
Well,
that the one in
next year.
Anaheim?
No, that's next year's August. Yeah, Pasadena.
Pasadena. Yeah. I'll do that. I do that one. Yeah, because it's local. It's close.
Yeah.
Cool.
Either way, if you're ever in Chicago, let me know.
I
But
will
still,
definitely. I will. You never know.
Miss Divine, your final comments?
Lovely to meet another friend of Petey's and one of the legendary villainesses of Power Rangers franchise.
Aw, thank you so much. Lovely to meet you. What part of Australia are you in?
I live in a state of where Sydney is, New South Wales,
Oh
or
yeah.
NSW people call.
Oh yeah. One of my best friends lives there. Rachel Ward, her name is. She was an actress too a long time ago. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I haven't been there yet. I'm gonna go, and I'm definitely this year. I want to go. I'll let you know
Okay,
if I'm
thank
coming to
you.
Australia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Robbie, you're up next, brother.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on. It was great chatting for a little bit. I will also be at New York Comic Con, so
Oh
I will
yeah, will you
definitely-
come see me? I'm so worried no one's gonna come see me.
Absolutely. I'm going to be there all 4 days. My friend's going to have a table, so I will be there.
Oh,
all 4 days.
great. I'm gonna talk to Petey about I gotta make some stuff to sell, but I gotta figure out what I want to make.
If you need anything, let me know. I'm your guy.
Yeah, I might need you. I
He's your
gotta
guy.
yeah, I have to think. A lot of people want my Labubu unboxing thing, so I was maybe gonna ask the guy to make some more dolls and maybe we'll make some more cards and stuff and sell the dolls in the boxes. That might be fun.
Are you going to be with? Are you going to? What do you know who you're going to be with?
I'm
Or
gonna
you
be
just
with
gonna at a-
Mikey, the guy. He does Power Ranger stuff.
Oh, you're going to be at the Ranger Stop booth?
Yeah, Ranger Stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
well,
excellent.
do you think you'll do Ranger Stop, Hillary, by chance?
Say again?
Do you think you'll do Ranger Stop by chance? Maybe.
I don't know. Are they still doing it?
Yeah, there's
are.
one in Florida. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's coming up. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna do the New York one.
Okay.
He'll-
Just
All right,
figuring
you'll-
out. Do you, by chance, do you think you'll do a part 2 of this show? Just curious too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, give me some stuff to talk about. I'm doing a movie. That's who was texting me about my ticket. So I'm doing a movie in September. So when I finish the movie and when the movie's coming out, we'll do this again so I could do
Awesome.
publicity.
Awesome, and
Cool.
you can promote the movie too as much as you want. And actually,
Great.
my final word for you, Hilary,
Hilary.
before you go, and that is, first of all, I gotta thank you for this amazing interview. It's such an honor speaking with you. I've been a fan of yours since I was 7, and the one I gotta say to you, and this is gonna be something legit and something from the heart, though. It's unfortunate that you don't have the powers like you do as Diva Talks. Personally, I wish you did. But you do have this incredible gift, Hilary. You have this incredible gift where you can take a 35-year-old fan like moi here and bring him way down here, make him feel like that 7-year-old watching Power Rangers Turbo, make him feel like that 5-year-old watching Family Full House with his mom and grandma.
Oh,
And
sweet.
you just have that power. You just not only, you know, you're two kinds of inspirational, Hilary. You're the regular kind of inspirational, and you're hilariously inspirational.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
and I cannot wait to do another interview with you in the future. Thank you. I'm going to send you a copy as soon as I'm done, which will be tonight.
Great.
I-
Thank you so much. It
Thank
was so
you.
nice to meet everybody.
Thank
And
you.
we'll
Great
speak
meeting you.
soon.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Sam.
you too.
Love you,
Bye.
Hilary.
Stay
Bye,
nice.
Bye.
everybody.